Alright, folks, once again, it's your boy Nightmare, Twisted Nightmare Gaming, and I'm not the one sitting in front of the camera for once.
Hey guys.
This time, we have a special guest. It's going to be my boy Chris, and if you recognize him, if you remember that far back, he was in the video when I did the Soul Calibur Collector's Edition unboxing. So, he's bringing to you a relatively newer game for a lot of people, because most people don't know this game exists that probably are who are subbed on this channel. So what are we talking about today, Chris?
We're gonna be talking about Transformers. 1 second.
Gotta get the hydration.
Gotta get that hydration before I go on this long spiel about this game. It's an awesome game. What we are talking about today is going to be the Transformers TCG card game. It is an incredible game. I personally got into this game back in September when I first heard about it, and I missed some of the pack releases from SDCC, but then as soon as the starter set came out, I jumped on that, and I've been on it ever since. It's an amazing game. It's really fast paced, and it really grabs you. There's several starter sets that have came out. We have Devastator, Metroplex, and we have the actual Wave 1 starter set right here. I did not bring out the Wave 2 starter set, which is a B vs. Megatron, but that's fine. We have plenty of it. And also you'll see right here, which I'm sure Twisted Nightmare will show you in a later video.
I'm just Nightmare, Twisted's the partner.
Oh, okay, so it's Mr. Nightmare over here.
You gotta call
Not
me
even
Mister. Just Nightmare. Just Nightmare.
So there will be a Wave 3 case opening in another video. So we will get to that later. We will go back to a simple explanation for the game for y'all that don't understand it, or just getting into it, or not into any cards games at all. If anything, we will be introducing, hopefully, and bringing in more players to this game. You'll notice here we have the Transformers. Here you have your battle cards. Now the Transformers come in different shapes and sizes. Wave 3 is actually introducing Battle Masters, Weaponizers, and things like that. I don't have any of those out here because I haven't opened any of those packs yet, however, in the future. Now, one thing you might notice on the character cards, you will see the star counts, as well as the rarities. The star counts are what matters. You can have a deck with up to 25 stars. 25 stars, they don't have to be Autobots with Autobots. You can mix them up, put Decepticons with Autobots. You can put Bugs with trucks.
That will never happen with me.
Some awesome decks have worked actually crisscrossing between factions. So you can create 25. If you're a little light, a little heavy, there are some battle cards that carry star cards to finish it off and help, and they are pretty heavily powered cards. Now, you'll notice different things affect different actions. You have your defense, you have your health, you have your attack.
Why is Megatron weaker than Optimus?
Well, this one is actually a rare Optimus, while this is just the common Megatron.
Why did you bring out the common Megatron, sir?
Because I did not want to bring out everything, Nightmare.
Alright, if you guys haven't figured out yet, my favorite character in Transformers is Megatron. The only one after that would probably be Starscream. So I'm very Decepticon biased, if you haven't figured out.
I will go with that. I like both factions. However, one of my biggest things I'm trying to make happen right now is Wave 1. Oh my lord, it's Optimus, but it's not Optimus, Nemesis. Wave 1 Nemesis Prime, I have a feeling I can actually make him re-relevant again here in Wave 3. But that is...
making Nemesis great again.
Yeah, hopefully. Okay, but so we have up to 25 stars in a deck between characters and battle cards. You can have 40 cards in a deck, minimum. You can have more.
So for the Yugi people, that 40 card minimum, we kind of know that one.
You have more.
What's the max?
And the max is no max. Basically, it's the the fall rule, basically at that point,
As long as it doesn't fall off the table?
As long as it can freestand without a nudge on it, like bump on a table, and it doesn't fall over, it's legal.
Oh, okay.
Now, here's the issue. You can only have max of 3 of in every deck. Now, anything over 40 makes that kind of hard to start coming around. That extra 1 of that most decks allow of 4 of rather than 3 ofs makes a huge difference of going over 40. It really does. I've went as heavy as 60, and I now will never go over 42, 43.
Sounds about the norm even for Yu-Gi-Oh! So
yeah,
I can understand that.
So the characters, they have different abilities, all on different sides. Some characters are vanilla, of course. I didn't bring out any vanilla characters on any side. Now, one thing you will notice, these characters are vertical while these are horizontal. And the reason that is these have their transforms, like these transform like this, these transform like this, to where these are called combiners. These become big, monstrous guys. This one is part of part of the Sentinels, which makes up Optimus Maximus. This guy, Grimlock, of course, is a Dinobot, which is part of Volcanicus. So and that brings in different aspects of the game. Of course, we won't go into everything right now. As far as we said, you got the defense, your health, your attack. Once your health is gone, the character is gone into the KO area. He's dead. Once all characters are dead, that character loses. There are different aspects of bringing cards back and things like that. But we will move on to some of these battle cards for a second real quick and think about this and point out a few different aspects on these to help you understand the game even more. First off, we'll start up here. First and foremost, there's one battle card that came in Wave 2 that is already banned for all players, so they know. This card is called Swap Parts. It is 100% banned. It is the most broken card ever printed in a game. It is done. So just so you know, first and foremost,
What does it do?
Swap Parts. Choose 2 of your characters, swap all of their upgrades. Now, this combination with a couple of other cards enables you to take 20 to 30 minute turns while your opponent sits there just watching you do 2 damage here, 5 minutes later, do 1 damage here, another 5 minutes later, do 3 damage over here, or 1 damage, and then by turn 2, he's won the game after an hour and a half of play.
That's a good thing we live in a world with time constraints in Yu-Gi-Oh!
There's time constraints in Transformers 2 in tournament settings. However, when before tournament setting, this card came out and was banned before the tournament structure was made.
Oh, okay.
And because they realized, people this card caused so many problems. I about lost my mind whenever somebody played that deck into me. The other thing you'll notice on all these cards, first and foremost, are these colors. Some have 1, some have 2. The newest set actually coming out from Wave 3 actually has a couple that have 3. Now, you flip these on attacks and defense, and the oranges will add to attack, the blues will add to defense. Whereas your first white flipped allows you to flip 2 extra battle cards. And I say 2 extra, and it's only the first white. And I say this because you only flip 2 battle cards per attack. However, there are certain scenarios that enhance that and so on. I don't have any of them out here. That can be at a later date for us to get into.
It's just the basics.
It's just bold and tough. We're not going to get into that right now. We're not even going to get into the Pierce factor right now. We're just covering these simple things. Now, we also have, you'll notice, the actions, upgrades. Now, there's 3 different areas of upgrades. I only have 2 out here. There's a weapon upgrade and a utility upgrade, and there's also an armor upgrade. Now, common sense, weapon upgrade is going to help out your weapon, giving you more attack. Armor upgrade is usually going to help your defense out, Some armors will actually boost your attack, strangely enough. And in utilities, there are some of the more harder things to get rid of, and they do different acceptable upgrades that are just overpowered. Excuse me. Now, you're allowed to play, outside of the first and second turn of the game, you're allowed to play one action and one upgrade per turn. The one action and one upgrade is one per turn. So you can play one action and one upgrade. On the first turn of the game, nobody can, whoever goes first can't play either one. All they can do is transform one character and attack one character. On turn 2, that person can play one action and or one up, or not and or, just or, one upgrade. That is it. Now, green blips. Sorry, I'm all over the place with this. I know I'm bouncing back and forth, but just deal with it. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, they used to that shit with me too.
The green blips, upon battling on your attack or defense, they allow you to swap a card from your hand, putting it down, and picking it up, putting it into your hand. Now, they do different things. These are just two. These are faction cards. Of course, these are put on Autobots only. These are put on Decepticons only. They're too commonly run as one-ofs in a lot of decks now. Because they're simple. Oh, I don't have a weapon on a character. I have no weapons in hand. All of a sudden, this comes out in attack or defense. I'll just put this card that I don't really need right now down, and I'll pick this one up, and next turn I'll put it on my guy. So, it's really nice mechanic. And earlier you'll notice I said something about transforming. Once per turn, you can take one of your characters up to 25 stars, like I said. Once per turn, you can transform one character. Now, certain battle cards will allow you to bypass that rule. We all understand different card games and how they work for the most part. Now, whenever you do that, that is your transform. Stats can change, guys. You will notice 6, 14, 3. Your health will always stay the same. As of right now. God knows what they might put out in the future. 8, 14, 2. So we gained 2 attack. We lost 2 defense on this guy. One defense, sorry. I'm from Florida.
Hey, don't blame that on being from Florida, bro.
But you're allowed that. Trying to think if there's anything else I have forgotten to mention. Outside of the first turn, whoever attacks first can attack whoever they want. Because there's no tapped characters. However,
so we have a magic aspect of tapping.
Correct. You would tap a character. Whoever goes first can attack whoever because nobody's tapped. Then you attack that person that you attacked with is tapped. Then the following person has to go into that tapped character. If they don't go into that tapped character, well, it's not. They don't. They have to. There's not a choice. That's what it is. If there's multiple tapped characters, they can attack whatever tapped character they want. If they have more characters than you and all your characters are tapped and they have 2, let's say even 3 characters untapped, they at that point stream attack you because nobody untaps till all characters are tapped. I think that's a pretty good baseline video of how to play it. I'm sure there's a few things I've missed. Not
like
the
I said,
best
this
teacher
is
in the world.
bare bones basis just to get everybody into what we're going to be talking about probably in the next couple of videos. I probably would not get into this game simply because I played enough games as it is at this point in my life. Between Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus Pokemon and occasionally Magic the Gathering, yeah, I don't think I have enough time to add a 5th one to my thing. Well, I thought about it.
Me, like I said, I like Transformers. It was never big. I tried the Dragon Ball card game because that was my big anime. Wasn't too happy with the mechanics of that game. Then I tried this.
You're not the only person.
I was in it from the beginning.
A lot of my friends have legitimately gone, who started out playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon, went from that to Dragon Ball Super back to the game that they were playing prior to Super because they did not like things about Super. So
it's the mechanics of Super are. I love the art of the cards. Don't get me wrong. The people that do the game, much love to them. More, not trying to bash the game. All players to it. More power to you. However, I came to this. I'm a father of 3. I work construction. I'm always busy. This game I was able to get into because I just recently got into card games last year. I mean, I played poker and stuff. Never played any TCGs. And then I started out with Pokemon with the kids, and then I was able to jump into this from the beginning, and that with the fact that I have no life.
You have kids, you always have a life, but you never have a life at the same time.
I don't have a personal life outside of my kids.
There you go.
And work. So this became kind of like an obsession. And it's just a lot of fun. It's really fast-paced, and it's a really good way to get to meet people. I mean, I nerd out. I like to believe everybody nerds out. So let's try to make this community grow. Is my whole thing on this, and why I'm starting to do some of these videos, and it's to help this community grow around here.
All right, folks. Again, we got more to come when it comes to Transformers. We're gonna do a case opening here very, very shortly. In fact, that'll be the next video that we put on the channel after this one. This has been Twisted Nightmare Gaming with my boy Chris, where of course we're always at we're storing comics and video games here that don't change but today.
And I want to follow out by telling everybody, especially all Transformer fans, roll out.